Hey everyone, I'm Miriam. I'm 28, working hard as a junior accountant at a local firm. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills. I come from this big, loud family that's always gone on and on about how tight we are. Family first, they'd say. Yeah, right. Anyway, my life took a crazy turn when I met James at this charity event. He was tall, dark, and handsome, the whole package, and as I found out later, loaded. We hit it off right away. Miriam, you won't believe this. My mom squealed when I told her about James. Our little girl dating a businessman. At first, everyone was over the moon. Aunt Linda was already planning our wedding. We'll have it in the backyard, she said, save on venue costs. But things changed once they realized how successful James really was. That's when it started to get weird. James and I fell hard for each other, and within a year, we were saying I do. The wedding was perfect, except for the odd looks I kept getting from some of my relatives. After the honeymoon, James dropped a bombshell. Miriam, how would you like to work for me? I could really use someone with your skills. I was floored. Are you serious? That would be amazing. But when I told my family, you'd think I committed a crime. Oh, so now you're too good for your old job? My cousin Tom sneered. Don't forget where you came from, Uncle Robert warned. It hurt, but I tried to brush it off. I was happy in love, and my career was taking off. Who cared what they thought? Then, Grandma passed away. It hit me hard. She had always been my biggest supporter. But at the will reading, I got the shock of my life. To my granddaughter, Miriam, I leave. The lawyer paused, flipping through papers. Nothing. What? I gasped. There had to be a mistake. Aunt Karen's voice was dripping with venom. No mistake. You're not real family anymore, Miriam. You've changed. Yeah, Uncle Robert chimed in. You've got your rich husband now. What do you need Grandma's stuff for? I couldn't believe it. My own family cutting me out because I married well and got a good job. It felt like a bad dream. I'm still me, I protested. I haven't changed. Save it, Miriam, Cousin Sarah snapped. Go back to your mansion and your fancy job. You don't belong here anymore. I left that reading in a daze, my world turned upside down. The family I thought I could always count on had just shown their true colors. And they were ugly as hell. As I drove home, tears streaming down my face, I realized this was just the beginning. My so-called family had drawn a line in the sand, and I was on the wrong side of it. But if they thought I was going to roll over and take this, they had another thing coming. I decided to confront my family head-on. Big mistake. Can we talk about what happened at the will reading? I asked Aunt Karen over the phone. There's nothing to discuss, Miriam. You made your choice when you married into money. I'm still part of this family, I tried to reason with her. I haven't changed. Save your breath. We all know you think you're better than us now. And with that, she hung up on me. Unbelievable. I tried reaching out to others, but I kept hitting a brick wall, cold shoulders, snide remarks, you name it. Then, out of the blue, I got a text from Sarah. Meet me at Joe's Diner. 3 p.m. come alone. When I got there, Sarah was a bundle of nerves. Miriam, I can't take it anymore. You need to know the truth. What truth? She leaned in and whispered, Uncle Robert, he's behind all of this. My jaw dropped. What do you mean? He convinced Grandma to change her will just weeks before she died. Said he didn't need the money anymore. I couldn't believe it. But why? Sarah's eyes darted around nervously. He's been embezzling from the family business for years. He needed to cover his tracks. My head was spinning. Uncle Robert, the family's golden boy, a thief. There's more, Sarah continued. He's been turning everyone against you, spreading rumors, twisting your words. It all started to make sense, the cold shoulders, the nasty remarks. Thanks for telling me, Sarah, but why are you risking this? Sarah asked, a sad smile on her face. Because it's not right, and I miss my cousin. As the days passed, I noticed more and more family members ghosting me. Even Lisa, my ride or die since kindergarten, stopped returning my calls. Lisa, it's me again. Can we please talk? Straight to voicemail. I tried reaching out to my parents, hoping they'd take my side. Mom, Dad, you can't seriously be okay with this. Dad sighed. Honey, maybe it's best to let sleeping dogs lie for the sake of family peace. Family peace. They're treating me like a pariah. Mom patted my hand. It'll blow over, sweetie. Just give it time. I couldn't believe it. Even my own parents were choosing the path of least resistance. Weeks later, I caught wind of a family gathering. No invite for me, of course. Still, I decided to swing by, hoping to catch someone willing to talk. As I approached the house, I heard raised voices coming from the backyard. I crept closer, hiding behind the fence. Selling the business is our only option. Uncle Robert's voice carried over. Aunt Karen sounded panicked. But what about our jobs? The family legacy. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made, Robert replied smoothly. Besides, with the sale, I'll be able to redistribute some assets. My blood ran cold. He was planning to sell the family business, the one my grandfather built from the ground up. But Robert, another voice chimed in. What about the other employees? Our cousins, nephews, nieces. Collateral damage, Robert dismissed. They'll find other jobs. I'd heard enough. My hands shook as I snuck away. Robert wasn't just content with turning the family against me. He was ready to throw everyone under the bus to save his own skin. As I drove home, my mind raced. I had to do something, but what? I was the family outcast now. Who would believe me? One thing was clear. The Uncle Robert I thought I knew was a fraud, and I needed to expose him before he destroyed everything our family had built. I couldn't just sit back and watch Robert ruin everything. I had to act, but I needed to be smart about it. That's when I hatched my plan. James, honey, I need a favor, I said one night over dinner. What's up, babe? I need access to some financial analysis tools. It's for a personal project. James raised an eyebrow but didn't press. Just be careful, okay. With those tools, I started digging, but I needed more. So I reached out to my old buddy Mike from my previous accounting gig. Mike, I need your help. Off the books. Miriam, it's been ages. What's going on? I spilled the beans about Robert's embezzlement. That sleazeball. Count me in. For weeks, we pored over financial records, tracing every cent. But we needed an inside track, and that's where Cindy, Robert's assistant, came in. I accidentally bumped into her at the coffee shop near their office. Oh my gosh, Cindy, it's been forever. We got to chatting, and soon we were having regular coffee dates. I started fishing for info. So how's work? Is Uncle Robert keeping you busy? Cindy rolled her eyes. Girl, you have no idea. The late nights, the secret meetings, something big's going down. Jackpot. Meanwhile, at James's company, things were heating up. Miriam, we're on the verge of losing our biggest client, Megacorp. We need this deal. Our entire key forward depends on it, James said, stress evident in his voice. I spent nights poring over their financials, finding ways to sweeten the deal. Finally, I called a meeting with Megacorp's CFO. Listen, Bob, I know you've got other offers, but look at these projections. I laid out my plan, showing how our partnership could boost their profits by 30% in the first year alone. Bob's eyes widened. Dan, Miriam, this is impressive. We sealed the deal that afternoon. James was over the moon. Miriam, you just saved our asses. How would you like to be our new CFO? I was floored. Are you serious? Dead serious. You've more than earned it. News of my promotion spread like wildfire. Suddenly, my phone was blowing up with messages from family members who'd been ghosting me for months. Congrats, cuz. We should catch up, texted Lisa. Aunt Karen called, all sugary sweet. Miriam, darling, we're so proud of you. I kept my responses polite but brief. I had bigger fish to fry. Finally, after weeks of late nights and secret meetings, I had everything I needed. Financial records, witness statements, and recordings of Robert's shady deals. I sat at my desk, staring at the mountain of evidence. This was it, the moment of truth. I picked up my phone and typed out a message to the family group chat, the one I'd been booted from months ago. Family meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. It's about the future of our family business. Everyone needs to be there. I hit send, my heart pounding. There was no turning back now. Tomorrow, I'd expose Robert for the fraud he was. Consequences be damned. As I got ready for bed, I couldn't help I felt a mix of anxiety and determination as I prepared to drop a bombshell on my family. Sometimes you have to break things to fix them. I just hoped that when the dust settled, there would be something left to salvage. The day of the family meeting arrived, and I felt like I was going into battle. As I walked into Grandma's old house, now Uncle Robert's, the chatter died down. All eyes were on me. Well, well, look who decided to grace us with her presence, Aunt Karen sneered. I took a deep breath. Thanks for coming, everyone. I know you're wondering why I called this meeting. Uncle Robert stood up, feigning concern. Miriam dear, if this is about the inheritance, I cut him off. It's about the future of our family business and your crimes. The room erupted into chaos. I raised my voice to be heard over the din. I have proof that Uncle Robert has been embezzling money from the family business for years. I began laying out the evidence: financial records, witness statements, recordings. With each revelation, the color drained from Robert's face. This is preposterous, he sputtered. You can't believe this gold digger. But the proof was irrefutable. I played a recording of Robert discussing his plans to sell the business. You were going to sell our legacy? Dad's voice was barely a whisper. Robert made a dash for the door, but it burst open before he could reach it. 2 police officers walked in. Robert Johnson, you're under arrest for embezzlement and fraud. As they led him away in handcuffs, the room fell silent. Then all hell broke loose. Aunt Karen was the first to approach me, tears in her eyes. Miriam, I'm so sorry. We had no idea. I held up a hand. Save it, Aunt Karen. I'm glad the truth is out, but I can't forget how quickly you all turned on me. One by one, relatives came up to apologize, asking for help, jobs, money, you name it. I'm sorry, but no, I said firmly. I'm not here to be your safety net. I will, however, help salvage the family business. I'll work with Sarah and anyone else who treated me decently, but this is a professional courtesy, nothing more. As the dust settled and people filed out, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. I had done what I came to do. Weeks passed, and news of Robert's arrest spread. Our family became the talk of the town, but I was done with the drama. James and I sat on our patio, enjoying a quiet evening. You know I'm proud of you, he said, squeezing my hand. You stood up for what's right, even when it was hard. I smiled, feeling at peace for the first time in months. Thanks, babe. I couldn't have done it without you. So what now? He asked. I grinned. Well, CFO, I think it's time we took that vacation we've been talking about. How does Bali sound? As we clinked glasses and started planning our trip, I reflected on my journey. I'd lost the family I thought I had, but I gained something far more valuable: self-respect and the strength to stand up for myself. The family business was on the mend, with Sarah at the helm and me advising from afar. Some relatives were still trying to mend fences, but I kept my distance. I had learned the hard way that blood doesn't always mean loyalty. Looking at James, I realized I had everything I needed right here. We were building our own family, one based on love and mutual respect. And as for the future, well, bring it on. I was ready for whatever came next. As the sun set on another chapter of my life, I felt nothing but excitement for the new one beginning. Sometimes you have to lose what you thought you wanted to find what you really need. And me? I had found my happily ever after on my own terms. Now I have a question for you. If you were in my shoes, would you have forgiven your family and let them back into your life? Or would you have maintained your distance like I did? Think about it. Family is supposed to have your back, right? But what happens when they betray you? Is blood really thicker than water, or is that just something we tell ourselves? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm dying to hear what you would do in this situation. And hey, if you enjoyed this roller coaster of family drama, why not hit that like button? It helps more people find our channel. Oh, and if you want to catch more stories like this, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.